Dzień dobry. Today I've took a tram and travelled to the east of Bydgoszcz to a district called Fordon. It might not seem like the usual destination for a traveller, and it's not. But just to my right, at the back of the district, is the site of one of the earliest atrocities committed by the Nazis in World War II. So I'm about to enter Dolina Smiercie, known in English as the Valley of Death. And it was here where one of the first massacres of World War II took place. In October and November of 1939, hundreds of people from the nearby city were brought into these woods and killed, their bodies thrown into a mass grave. Now, these people weren't killed because they were Jewish. Some of them were Jewish, but they were killed because they were part of the Poland's intellectual elite. So the people that were killed here were primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, researchers, doctors. The Germans wanted to destroy Polish culture, and the best way to do that was to destroy its intellectual elite, its leaders. Over 1,200 people were brought into these woods and murdered and thrown into a mass grave. The list of people who were to be murdered was actually made up before the start of World War II. The list was extended by the Gestapo at the start of World War II. Between September 1939 and April 1940, tens of thousands of people were taken to mass shootings in places like this. This was chosen as a third site after the nearby execution sites in Tristan and Borówno started to overflow with dead bodies. Before the Nazis started building the huge death camps, this is where most people who were killed by the Nazis, these are the kind of places where they would be killed. Small, local places, maybe a couple of thousand people at a time. And in these places they would be forced to dig their own pit. And then they would stand up next to the pit and the Nazis would shoot them, and they would fall on top of whoever was just been shot before. The Nazis only seriously started thinking about building extermination camps because the act of repeatedly shooting people and at these mass killings was having a negative effect on the mental health of some of the Nazis. And these places are all over Poland. If you visit a Polish city or town and put the town name into Google with the word Holocaust after it, chances are you'll not be far away from a place that saw mass killings and mass graves. I mean, it's just so peaceful, and it's such a lovely park. It's hard to believe the atrocities that went on here. 1,500 people, teachers, doctors, lawyers, clergymen, would have walked through these woods to be shot and thrown in a mass grave. It's actually got some of the names of the people who were murdered here. You can see there one of the victims having his head smashed in with the guns. They used to sometimes do that to save bullets. Not sure if this is the actual site of the mass grave, and the bodies were exhumed and then buried elsewhere, so I don't think there's any bodies still here. These are the names of the victims and their profession. Teacher, 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 teacher. Looking at that list, the vast majority of the victims were teachers. Well, I think that's it for the Valley of Death. If you do come to Bydgoszcz and you want to visit it, it's very easy to get to. Just take a tram from the city centre. It takes about 25 minutes, and then it's about a 15-minute walk to the entrance. Whole thing, walking around, you can do in an hour, and it's very interesting because I have been to visit the big camps like Auschwitz and Sachsenhausen, Mauthausen. I've never been to these smaller places where the mass shootings took place. I think it's really important that these kind of memorials do exist to act as a reminder and a warning from history that in these quiet little towns something so beyond anyone's imagination could happen, something so evil. I think we need reminding of where hatred can lead.